see, there's a story running underneath every manifestation attempt you've ever made. Older than your beliefs about money. Older than your childhood programming. The original manifestation block comes from the time we were born. It's such a traumatic and powerful experience. It's so deeply embedded in our cells and in our subconscious. Welcome to the Reality Revolution. I'm your host, Brian Scott. Today's episode is a fascinating exploration of clearing the original block to manifestation. Before we begin, I want to invite you to join my school community. You can find the link in the description. This online community offers group sessions on a weekly basis, masterminds, exclusive content, audiobooks you can't find anywhere else, and an amazing group of people that have come together to help each other manifest their dreams. I was inspired to create this activation after reading Stanislav Grof's When the Impossible Happens. Stanislav Grof was this incredible psychiatrist that had the opportunity to study thousands of people in non-ordinary states using deep trance and psychedelics, exploring the deeper issues of manifestation and psychiatry. His research was rooted in the fundamentals and science. There's a concept that he writes about in this book that really struck with me, and so I started working on it in my meditations. The idea is the original manifestation block comes from the time we were born. It's such a traumatic and powerful experience. It's so deeply embedded in our cells and in our subconscious that we expect struggle and constriction with every manifestation, with every creation experience. You see, there's a story running underneath every manifestation attempt you've ever made. Older than your beliefs about money. Older than your childhood programming. Older than language itself. A story written in sensation and survival and the raw, pre-verbal experience of the most intense physical journey that you ever have taken. The story of your birth. Stanislav Grof, the psychiatrist who spent decades mapping the deepest territories of the human consciousness, discovered something that changes everything about how we understand the creative process. In thousands of documented sessions with ordinary people accessing non-ordinary states, he found a consistent universal discovery beneath all the individual differences, all the unique personal histories, all the varied beliefs and wounds and conditionings that make each human psyche distinct. The birth experience is the original creation template. It is the first time consciousness moved from one reality into another. The first time a desired state, the warmth, the openness, the ease of arrival on the other side, was separated from current experience by a passage that had to be moved through. The first time creation happened in this body, in this nervous system, in this particular human life. Now, I don't know about you, but in my life, the first time something happens, that tends to be the most significant part of any journey. And because it was first, because it arrived before language, before the capacity to contextualize or interpret or choose a meaning, it became the default program, the unconscious operating system through which every subsequent creation act is processed. Here's what Grof identified as the 4 phases of the birth experience, what he called the basic perinatal matrices, BPM, basic perinatal matrices. Here's what most people have never been told about them. They are phases of one specific kind of birth. They are the template of one particular way that creation can move. They are the map of the hard road And the hard road is the only road the nervous system knows, unless you consciously install a new map. This is what this activation does. I'm not just telling you about this. By listening to this activation, utilizing these linguistic technologies, we're going to remove this root core programming. Today, you receive a new map. Today, you clear the original manifestation block, the deep pre-verbal expectation that creation requires struggle, that the passage to a new reality must be narrow and dark and exhausting before it opens, and you replace it with a template so clean, so spacious, so aligned with the actual nature of consciousness that every creation cycle you move through from this day forward has the genuine possibility of flowing with ease from the very first moment. Let us understand what Grof found, so the activation can work at the deepest level possible of your awareness. The basic perinatal matrices 1, or BPM1, is the original wholeness. Before labor begins, the fetus exists in a state that Grof subjects described in consistently mystical terms. When they were sent back to these times to experience these times through deep trance states and other non-ordinary states, they found that the fetus exists in a state that Grof's subjects describe as oceanic unity, cosmic belonging, total merger with a sustaining field. Everything needed arrives without being sought. You're being fed. There's nothing you need to do. There's no separation, no want, no effort. The experience is one of effortless total sufficiency, existence as pure nourishment, consciousness as pure belonging. It's my impression that this is identical to us being connected to Source. This is creation before the expectation of difficulty arrives. This is the ground state of the conscious creator, the state in which desired realities are held as natural extensions of an already abundant field, where receiving feels as automatic as breathing, where the universe and the self are so fundamentally unified that asking and receiving happens in the same instant. We then move to BPM2, Basic Perinatal Matrices 2, the contraction. This is where it all begins. This is where we go back to so much struggle in our lives. In the standard birth narrative, labor begins. The space that nourished becomes a source of pressure, this place where you were so comfortable, so perfect, the walls begin to close in. There's no exit visible and no return available. The emotional imprint of this phase is one of the most recognizable experiences in human psychology, the walls closing in feeling, the trapped quality, the sense that the universe has turned hostile without warning. The critical insight is that BPM2 is the template that reaches the nervous system. That commitment to a new reality is immediately followed by pressure and constriction. Suddenly you want to move to a new reality, you want to move to the light, and then there's this constriction. It installs the expectation that the moment you choose something new, something bigger, when you want to get out, move on, something that requires leaving the familiar behind, the universe will respond with resistance. And so it does, because the nervous system expects it, because the expectation itself is the creative force. We then move to BPM 3, the struggle. For those who persist past BPM 2, the third matrix brings intense titanic effort, the narrow passage, the full commitment of every resource, the volcanic force of pushing through maximum resistance toward an exit that is real but agonizing to reach. BPM 3 is the template that teaches the nervous system that the price of arrival is maximum effort and maximum suffering. It installs the belief at the deepest level, below conscious thought, below chosen belief, in the pre-verbal bedrock of the psyche. The creation is hard. that the measure of an outcome's value is the degree of difficulty required to reach it, that ease is suspicious, flow is untrustworthy, and anything that arrives without struggle is somehow less real, less earned, less permanent than what came through pain. BPM 4 then is the emergence. For those who moved through all of it, birth happens then. The constriction opens, the dark gives way to light, the impossible pressure becomes the freedom of arrival, and the quality of that arrival, shaped by everything that preceded it, carries both the profound relief of completion and the residue of everything the journey required. Now, here is the teaching that this activation is built upon, and it is the most important thing you will hear today. BPM 2 and BPM 3 are the template of one specific birth experience. They are the description of what happened in the womb, in the passage, in the body of a specific child in a specific moment of biological history. They are not a law. They are not the required shape of every creative act. But your nervous system does not know that. They are not the universal template for how consciousness moves from one reality to another. They are a program, and programs can be updated. You're just unaware that you've been running this program. Billions of people are running this program, that they must struggle. Consciousness moves between realities constantly, in every direction, with varying degrees of ease and resistance. And the degree of resistance is determined by the template through which the creative act is processed, by the expectation the nervous system brings to the moment of transition. When the expectation is creation requires struggle, or manifestation requires struggle, the nervous system organizes the creative field to confirm that expectation. It generates the BPM 2 contraction in response to every intention. It produces the BPM 3 resistance in response to every commitment. It recreates the birth passage in the psychic space of every manifestation attempt, because that is the only map it has for how this kind of journey works. It's deeply ingrained through pain, through experience. Remove the expectation and the field, reorganize it. Install the expectation of ease, the genuine cellular nervous system deep expectation that creation flows naturally, that desired realities arrive through grace as readily as through effort, that BPM 1 is available as the permanent ground and BPM 4 as the permanent destination with space between them that is as wide or narrow as the manifestation process allows. And the creative field reorganizes around that expectation instead. This is what we do today. We are going to consciously release the expectation of struggle from your creative process. This release happens at 3 levels simultaneously: the conscious levels of chosen belief, the emotional level of felt experience, and the somatic level of the body's imprinted response. All 3 levels are addressed in this activation. All 3 levels are required for the release to be genuine and lasting rather than superficial and temporary. Begin with the conscious level. Bring to awareness clearly and completely the specific beliefs about creation that the BPM 2 and BPM 3 imprints have installed over your lifetime. Let them surface without judgment. Let them be fully seen in the light of your conscious awareness. The belief that things worth having require things worth sacrificing. The belief that ease is a sign of insufficient effort or insufficient desire or insufficient readiness. The belief that if something feels too good, too smooth, too available, it is probably an illusion that will shortly reveal itself as the setup for a harder fall. Perhaps you said it's too good to be true. The belief that your desire for ease in the creative process is a character flaw, rather than an accurate perception of what is genuinely possible. See them clearly. These beliefs are the conscious expression of the perinatal imprint. They are the language the nervous system developed as consciousness matured into words and concepts to explain the pre-verbal template. It was already running. They feel like wisdom. They feel like hard-won insight about the nature of reality. They feel in the most convincing way possible like simply seeing things as they are. They are the program describing itself as reality. And you are the consciousness that is larger than the program. Speak to these beliefs now. Say inwardly or aloud, I see you. You are the best possible interpretation of an experience that happened before I had any choice in the matter. You served as a map for creation in a world where that was the only map available. I release you now with complete appreciation for what you were trying to do. I am open to a different map. I am open to the genuine possibility that creation flows with ease. I am open to the experience of desired realities arriving through grace, through flow, through the natural momentum of a consciousness that knows what it wants and allows the universe to deliver it. Feel what happens in the space where those beliefs were held. This is real. There's actual spaciousness in the release of a held belief. The body knows the difference between a clenched certainty and an open possibility. Let the opening be as large as it wants to be. Now move to the emotional level. The emotional signature of the BPM imprint is the specific felt quality of anxiety that arises at the moment of creative commitment. A particular texture of tension that appears the moment you decide you genuinely want something. The moment you allow yourself to reach for a reality bigger than the one you currently inhabit. That's what you were doing all the way back then at the very beginning, reaching for a new reality bigger than the one you inhabit. Is that not what I'm trying to teach you to do now? So I want you to feel for that signature now. The tightening in the chest or the belly, the slight quickening of the breath, the subtle quality of bracing, the nervous system preparing automatically, and often without your conscious input for the contraction it is always believed was coming. That's all you've ever known. That's what you knew immediately the moment you were in that peaceful, blissful, womb-like state and you said, hey, I want to move to something bigger. And then boom, you felt that pressure, that contraction. I want you to feel it fully, with complete compassion for the intelligence that installed it. And then do something the nervous system has almost never given permission to do with this feeling. Let it complete its arc. Complete its arc in your consciousness, fully held, without the contraction actually needing to happen in the external creative field. You are giving the BPM2 response its moment of complete expression, held entirely within the spaciousness of your awareness, so that it can release at the emotional level, rather than needing to recreate itself in the circumstances of your creative life. Breathe into the tightening. Let it be present as it wants to be. Let it be held by the vast spaciousness of your consciousness, which is genuinely larger than this feeling and always has been. And say to it, you prepared me for a struggle that the new template makes unnecessary. Your preparation is complete. You are released from duty. The creative field ahead of me is open. Feel what shifts as the emotional charge completes and releases. Now, the somatic level, the body itself. The perinatal imprint lives in the fascia, in the muscle memory, in the specific pattern of tension and contraction that the body has carried since the first moments of this life. You feel it as the chronic, low-level bracing that many people experience without ever knowing its origin. The shoulders that hold, the belly that tightens, the breath that shallows at the approach of anything new, anything significant, anything that requires genuine creative commitment. Bring your full conscious attention into your body right now. Scan from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, and as you do, consciously invite every layer of held tension to release, every place where the body is still preparing for the passage that the new template renders unnecessary. The shoulders release, the jaw release, the chest soften and open, the belly relax the guard it has been keeping since before you had language for why it was guarding, the hips, the legs, the feet, let the ground hold you fully, rather than bracing against a pressure that is releasing right now. As each layer releases, breathe in the new template deliberately. With every inhale, creation is natural, flow is available, ease is real. With every exhale, the expectation of struggle releases from every cell of your body, dissolving into the space around you, returning to undifferentiated energy, leaving behind a body that is genuinely, somatically, cellularly open to a new experience of creation. The body is the deepest level of the imprint. The body's release is the deepest level of the clearing. This release is happening right now. Now we install the template that replaces the cleared imprint with something genuinely new, a creation matrix built from a different understanding of how consciousness moves between realities. The new template has two elements, the ground and the field. The ground, or BPM-1 as your permanent home. The first element of the new creation template is the conscious, deliberate, daily, inhabited experience of BPM-1. The original wholeness, the oceanic ground of total sufficiency, the felt sense of being already held by a universe that is fundamentally on your side. Fundamentally oriented toward your flourishing. This is the ground state from which every creation cycle in your life now originates. Feel it right now. Feel the quality of being held, supported without effort by a field that surrounds you on every side, that nourishes you without your needing to earn the nourishment, that is oriented toward your expansion simply because the expansion is the nature of consciousness itself. This is available, this is real. It is the nature of the quantum field as both Grof and the great physicists who worked alongside him understood it, an implicate order that is fundamentally generative, fundamentally oriented toward the unfolding of potential into form. From this ground, desire feels different. Wanting something feels different. The gap between your current reality and your desired reality feels different. Smaller, more navigable, more like a natural next step in the unfolding of an already abundant field than like an impossible distance to be crossed through struggle. From BPM-1, ground the creative act begins from sufficiency rather than from lack. Let this ground become fully alive in your body right now. Breathe it in. Let your nervous system register it as the new default. Enter into the source present before birth, if you can. Embody that feeling. That's who you really are. The second element is the conscious, vivid, emotionally real inhabitation of BPM-4, the arrival, the emergence, the full and complete and celebrated reception of the desired reality as it steps from quantum potential into lived experience. Feel your desired reality has already arrived. See the specific details of the life in which you are creating is already real, not as a distant dream, but as the present moment felt experience of someone who is already there, the ease in your body that comes with genuine financial abundance, the warmth in your chest that comes with relationships of genuine love and belonging, the grounded, radiant sense of self that comes with knowing your creative power and seeing its results in the world around you. Let the BPM-4 quality of this arrival be as complete as possible, the relief of having arrived not from a long and painful struggle, but from the natural, flowing, grace-filled movement of consciousness from desire to manifestation. The celebration of an arrival that feels right, that feels natural, that feels, and this is the new element, the one the old template almost never allowed, easy. Arrived at through ease. Received without the residue of maximum effort. Inhabited with the full, uncomplicated, joyful presence of someone who is allowed rather than forced their way to this reality. Feel that specific quality arriving through ease. Let your nervous system register this as equally real, equally valid, equally trustworthy as arriving through struggle, because it is. The universe carries no preferences for the difficult path over the grateful one. That preference is exclusively the program's, and the program is clearing. Now let us address what happens when resistance, effort, or challenge does appear in a creation cycle. Because this is so deeply embedded, it's going to happen. Because sometimes it will. The world is complex. Circumstances have momentum. Other consciousness with their own templates intersect with your creative field. External conditions sometimes push back against the new reality you're choosing to inhabit. The question is, what does resistance mean in the new template? In the old template, resistance meant you are in BPM 3. This is the price of arriving. Suffer through it. The degree of difficulty confirms the value of outcome. Now, in the new template, resistance means something entirely different. Resistance is information. Specific, useful, navigable information about the alignment between the frequency you're holding and the frequency of the desired reality. When effort appears in the creative field, it is the creative field showing you exactly where refinement is available, where the signal can be clarified, where the alignment can deepen, where a small adjustment in the internal state will open a larger ease in the external movement. Resistance is the compass, pointing toward the direction of greater flow. The reframe changes everything about how resistance is experienced. In the old template, resistance was met with more effort, more pushing, more forcing, more of the BPM 3 quality of grinding through the narrow passage. More struggle in response to struggle, which is the reliable recipe for creating the maximum expression of the BPM 3 matrix. In the new template, resistance is met with inquiry. Where is the ease here? Where is the path of least resistance? That is also the path of genuine alignment. What would this look like if it were effortless? What am I holding about this that is creating friction? Where can I deepen my inhabitation of the desired reality so that the external field reorganizes around the new frequency rather than the old one? These questions are the tools of the creator who has cleared the original creation block. They bypass the BPM 3 response entirely and go directly to the source of the friction, which is always, without exception, a place where the internal alignment can be deepened and the ease thereby restored. When resistance appears, you breathe. You return to the BPM 1 ground, the felt sense of original wholeness and total sufficiency. You check the alignment between the frequency you're holding and the frequency of the desired reality. You make the internal adjustment and you watch the external field respond. This is mastery. This is the creation practice of someone who no longer needs the struggle to confirm the value of what they are creating. This is the manifester who has genuinely released the original manifestation block and replaced it with a template of conscious, graceful, flow-aligned reality creation. Understanding the new template at the level of concept is the beginning. Embodying it makes the actual automatic, reliable response of your nervous system in every creative moment of every ordinary day requires a practice. Daily return to the cleared ground, a consistent, patient, gentle reinforcement of the new operating system until it becomes more deeply embedded than the old one ever was. So every morning, before the phone, before the news, before the day's creative challenges, you spend just a couple minutes consciously inhabiting BPM 1. You do this deliberately. You breathe the quality of original wholeness alive in your body. You feel the oceanic ground of total sufficiency, the felt sense of being already held, already nourished, already belonging to a universe that is fundamentally generous and fundamentally on your side. You let your nervous system register this as the baseline from which the day begins. This is the most important 5 minutes of your creative practice, because the ground you establish in the morning is the ground from which every decision, every intention, every creative act from the day originates. A day begun from BPM 1 ground moves differently through the world than a day begun from the anxious, bracing, already contracting state that most people bring to their mornings. 5 minutes every morning. BPM 1 ground, deliberately and fully inhabited. When you set an intention, when you choose a desired reality, reach for something new, commit to a manifestation that requires leaving the familiar behind, pause for a moment before moving into action. Check the ground from which the intention is being set. Is it BPM 1 ground, the spacious, sufficient, already whole ground of conscious creation? Or is it the old anxious ground, the reaching of a consciousness that feels incomplete without the desired outcome, that has already begun to brace for the contraction it expects? The same desired reality set from these two grounds enters the creative field with fundamentally different frequencies. And the creative field, which is responsive, reflective, and organizes itself around the dominant frequency you bring to it, will generate very different responses. Set intentions from the BPM 1 ground, from fullness, from the genuine felt knowing that the desired reality is a natural next expression of an already abundant consciousness, already supported by an already cooperative field. When resistance appears, and approach this with the genuine openness of a creator who knows that resistance is information rather than obstruction. Pause and ask the 3 questions of the cleared creator. Where's the ease here? Where's the natural momentum, the path of least resistance that is also the path of genuine alignment? What is the resistance showing me about my internal alignment with the desired reality? Where can I deepen my inhabitation of the BPM 4 arrival so that the external field reorganizes around the new frequency? What would this look like if it were flowing? These questions are genuinely transformative in the moment of apparent obstruction. They redirect the creative consciousness from the old BPM 3 response, push harder, suffer more, prove through maximum effort that you deserve the arrival, to the new template response, refine the alignment, deepen the internal state, trust the field to reorganize. When the desired reality arrives, when the intention manifests, when the creation steps from the quantum field into a lived experience, stop. Actually stop. Fully receive the arrival. Let it be as large as it actually is. Let your nervous system register completion, the specific physiologically real cellular experience of a creative cycle that ran from BPM 1 through the open field openly to BPM 4 arrival with grace rather than grinding. Let the ease of it be noted. Let the new template be confirmed in your body by the specific quality of this arrival, the cleanliness of it, the naturalness of it, the way it feels different from arrivals that came through maximum effort and suffering. This confirmation is the reinforcement. This is what deepens the new template into the nervous system's foundational layer more powerfully than any conceptual understanding. The body knows the difference between arriving through struggle and arriving through grace. Let it know it fully. Let it register the grace-filled arrival as real and valid and trustworthy as something that will happen again, because the template that generated is now the dominant operating system. Over days, over weeks, over the accumulating confirmation of creation cycles that move with increasing ease, the new template becomes more real than the old one. The BPM 1 ground becomes more instinctive. The BPM 4 arrival becomes more natural. The space between them becomes more consistently available as the graceful, flowing, cooperative field it always genuinely was. Seen clearly now through the lens of a creator who has cleared the original block and is inhabiting the full truth of the creative power. Receive this now as a direct transmission. Let every word land in the layer beneath the language, in the nervous system, in the body, in the pre-verbal bedrock where the original creation block was installed and where its clearing is fully, finally, and permanently taking place. You've been carrying a map that described the hard road as the only road. Your creation was designed that way. It was given to you as a template when you entered. And you traveled that hard road with extraordinary courage, with genuine commitment, with the full force of a consciousness that wanted to create, that wanted to arrive, that kept moving through the BPM 2 contractions and the passage of every manifestation cycle, because the desired reality on the other side was worth it. Honor that. Fully and completely honor the creator you have been under the conditions of the old template. Because to reach for something desired while carrying the deep expectation of struggle requires a quality of determination that is genuinely remarkable. You have demonstrated across every creation cycle of your life that your desire for expansion is stronger than your fear of the passage. Now, imagine what becomes available when the passage is wide. When the template for creation is one of flow rather than constriction, of grace rather than grinding effort, of natural momentum rather than force applied against maximum resistance. The desire that was already strong enough to carry you through the BPM 3 passages now carries you through a field that is open, receptive, spacious, and genuinely cooperative. The creative power that had to fight for every inch of forward movement now moves in a field that moves with it. This is what clears when the original creation block clears. This is what opens when the expectation of struggle releases from the nervous system's foundational template. The BPM 2 contraction, that pre-verbal somatic instantaneous tightening that has met every creative commitment you have ever made, dissolves as the operating program right now. It completes its final expression in this moment of conscious awareness. It releases the grip it has maintained since before you had language to name it. It returns to the undifferentiated energy from which it arose and into which all completed programs return. Your body is free to receive the impulse toward creation without the automatic preparatory contraction. Your creative field is free to organize itself around the frequency of the desired reality rather than around the expectation of the pressure that used to precede it. The BPM 3 compulsion, the deep, unconscious, totally convincing belief that creation requires maximum effort and that ease disqualifies the result, dissolves as the operating program right now. Genuine effort remains available. Full engagement remains available. The willingness to bring everything you have to a creative process that genuinely requires everything you have, that remains because that is authentic, and this template is built from authentic truth rather than inherited limitation. But the compulsion, the unnecessary inherited perinatal imprint-driven recreation of maximum difficulty as the standard operating mode of every creative act that releases right now from every cell of your body, from every layer of your creative consciousness, by my command. What it replaces is the expectation of grace, the genuine cellular, nervous system level expectation that creation flows, that desired realities arrive, that the universe is a cooperative field rather than a resistant one, a partner rather than an adversary, a force that moves with your genuine creative intention rather than one that requires you to prove your worthiness through the degree of difficulty you can endure. Just because you experienced it in childbirth does not mean it applies to every creation experience. It's time you release this belief, even if you didn't even know you had it. Feel this as permanent ground right now, the oceanic wholeness, the original sufficiency, the deep belonging to a universe that is fundamentally generous, fundamentally conscious, fundamentally oriented toward the full flourishing of every conscious being within it. This is the ground you stand on for every creative act from this day forward. Feel BPM 4 as your permanent destination, the full, celebrated, ease-filled arrival into every reality you choose to create. The complete, wholehearted, joyful reception of desired realities as they step from the quantum field into the lived experience. The specific quality, the new quality, the quality of the old template made almost impossible of arriving through grace, of receiving what you created with the clean, uncomplicated satisfaction of someone who allowed rather than forced, who trusted rather than gripped, who remained open throughout the creative process to the possibility that this is the easy path, the graceful path, the path of genuine flow. It was always available. The original manifestation block made it invisible. The block is cleared now, the easy road is visible, the graceful path is real. The creation cycles ahead of you are open in a way that the creation cycles behind you could almost never fully be. Feel this in your body now. The shoulders that have been bracing since before you could walk, release. The chest that has been guarding against contraction opens. The belly that has been preparing for the passage softens. The breath that has been shallow with the readiness for resistance, deepening, slowly expanding into the full capacity of lungs that are genuinely somatically free to breathe in an unconstrained universe. This is the body of the Creator who has cleared the original manifestation block. This is the nervous system that no longer expects the struggle. This is the creative consciousness that moves into every new intention from the ground of BPM 1 wholeness through a field of genuine openness and cooperative grace, directly into the BPM 4 arrival, the full, complete, celebrated, ease-filled reception of the desired reality stepping into lived experience. Every creation cycle from this moment forward belongs here. In this body, in this openness, in this genuine, cleaned and cleared, somatically real expectation of a universe that cooperates with your creative intention rather than resisting it. Every time you set an intention, you begin with BPM 1 ground. Every time resistance appears, you receive it as information rather than confirmation of struggle, and you use it to deepen alignment rather than intensify effort. Every time a desired reality begins to materialize, you receive it with the full, open-armed, uncomplicated joy of a consciousness that expected it, that knew from the cleared template in its deepest layer that this was always how this was going to go, effortlessly, gracefully, through the natural, inevitable, completely reliable momentum of a consciousness that knows what it wants, trusts the field it is creating within, and allows rather than forces the arrival of every reality it chooses. This is who you are as a creator. This is the template that was always available beneath the original block. This is the truth of your creative nature, finally accessible in the body, in the nervous system, in the pre-verbal bedrock where all genuine creation originates. The original creation block is cleared. Creation is natural. Ease is your new standard. And every reality you choose, held from the ground of the womb, moving through a field cleared of the expectation of struggle, arriving fully into the complete and joyful reception of birth. Every one of these realities is available to you right now. Begin. You can find all episodes of The Reality Revolution at therealityrevolution.com, and welcome to The Reality Revolution.